而且这里面有个条件，心要能定得下来，这是它最基本的条件，并不是在形式上要坐着或者要走，没有一定固定什么形式。禅修本来就不只是在做，只是说你一定心能定得下来，但是你会有一个修正。等一下我们会再解释，我还没有讲完呢，因为你了解这一点之后，我们要讲它其实还有目的性的嘛，所以这个叫修的功德，对啊。那么这一个你如果从不是佛教的角度来说，可能就比较难理解这一点。当然你说让他了解当好人啊，对你有好处啊，有福报啊，那这个他能理解，或者是布施有福报，一般人也可以理解。那么不一定每个人都能接受，当然你知道，但是他们可以理解。但你说他修这个就很难理解，但这个就是佛教佛陀很重视的一个，对。而且严格的分，一个人在修的人，他应该要成就他的布施功德，跟成就他的世界功德，对。Okay, all right. Let me finish the third one first. The third one we say the practice. Practice is an action, but how to define the practice? The practice always been defined. You are able to moderate your mind into a focus. This is called a practice. It does not necessarily has to be in any form, in bodily form. In other words, it does not necessarily has to be just to sit, or just to walk, or just to, in any kind of bodily form is all right. You could still do the practice, or you simply would just say meditate, So this is why we want to say there were three kind of way doing action. Maybe still I know a little confusion, but when I'm finished the next slide, you might be no. The important is like that, because when someone doing the generosity, not because they only build up the merits, it's also they learn how to give up something. Chaga, well, the word it could mean renouncing. Something maybe you love, and you can give it up, right? Trust me, you try yourself. Let's say today you're very generous financially. Say, oh, it doesn't matter. I have $200. I just give it to you. Or let's just say give 150 or 200. And then when you meditate, even at the same time, when you meditate, just sit and meditate. And then the teacher told you, don't cling on that. Give it up. It doesn't matter. Let it go. You find it very easy to let it go. Okay? Because somehow, maybe you were struggling first. Oh, $200, how can I give it? I only have 200. But when you give it up, then somehow you can easily relate that. Even $200, I only have 200 with me right now, but I can give it up. So what? This kind of thing. When you have craving, you want a good thing. Oh, why it's not there? Then we told you just give it up. That if it goes, you can. This is why that kind of marriage, as I say, it become a resource, helping you to build up your virtue. Also, it helps you to build up your practice. So, be a generosity. It's not only just because then you are practicing the renouncing, the chaga in Pali word. It also, they will cut off your defilement of a stinginess. Okay? 就是会让你不会变成 stinginess 就是什么？吝啬小气啊。So, but when even in Chinese say the stinginess 吝啬小气, the stingy we have a lot of stinginess, not only just because of money, many things. I'm sure you know, many things, right? Even people maybe not treat you very well, you just very stinginess. You just don't want to give it up. Who suffer? So actually this is, in other words, mean the dana, the generosity, will not because you're doing that thing to give you merit or so, it itself actually give you a lot of good I would say, maybe in our language we say the Dharma, actually it will give a lot of very good resource for you, the Vattu. This is why we call it Vattu in Pali word. I know it's very hard for people. Generally, this is why when we learn meditation in the future, in long run, you not only seeing some people give you what you do, because a lot of people are very capitalism idea. They always want to say what can. They don't see what actually, when you do this, what kind of beneficial will come, not because necessarily getting something in a relative, not in the relative sense, but it's something kind of like indirectly you have a lot of benefit from that, you know. So this is usually when we were trying until now we don't try in this way. So, and the second, so when someone have this marriage with regard to the virtue, it will help them to, this is mean about the virtue, right? It actually helps them to put away first what? The anger. As a human, even though in Buddhist understanding, the pride, the anger, the doubt, I would say hatred, and what we call the delusion, and as well as the attachment are the main root for us. But when someone actually always build up the virtue, and somehow they will have a way to eliminate the anger. Right, okay. And that eliminated anger, it's giving a person having a good will. Okay? Have a good will. With that elimination of the anger, certainly it also helps them to remove the craving. And I know it sounds very strange, but later when you do meditation, you will find why I'm saying so. I give you one example. Sometimes the more when you cling to something, you find very interesting. Even though the root of clinging something is due to the craving. But what actually has become the assistant, or not only assistant, someone who coaxing, is it coaxing? Pursuing you to do that. Of course, let's say if I'm going to, well, say one very extreme example. That person want to kill another person. Say A wants to kill B, right? I mean, this is clear. When the A wants to kill B, the reason why he kills because he wants to get the money, say, because he wants to murder the other just in order to get the money. So, but what actually, the root is the money. In other words, the craving for the money. But the action is being done or being assist the action is because the hatred. Get it now? In generally, if someone have no hatred in the mind, the craving is not very strong. As a root, it's still there, but it would not be manifested. Okay. No, you don't agree? Think about that. Look at it. This is how you think about the Dhamma. The more when you have a craving is when you are not very happy. Okay? When you're very happy, yeah, I don't mean you don't have the craving, but it's not become a little insignificant to you. Get it now? No? This is the reason why some people are solely, very happily, simple thing, they had nothing, is still happy. But the root, the craving is still there because he's not arahant, he's not one, he's still, but it doesn't trigger much. When a craving comes, trust me, one thing is always helping a lot is the hatred. Unpleasant sensation, not happy. Am I right? Okay, I don't know whether I'm right. This is not me, but it's what we follow the Buddha Dhamma saying. So, just given. So this is why it's said we need to build up the virtue, not just because we know it's good for us, it's become a good resource for us. It's also, it give us a good view. It's also actually giving us the chance to keep away or to eliminate our hatred, so that our hatred, by elimination of hatred, that we become more, not become craving. Okay? At least a craving would not have a big, like a condition for them to arise. Right? Okay, the third one I'd like to mention is the practice, the bhavana. The bhavana, very, very important. Why I say a lot of people don't think it's important. Now think about that. Why the practice of meditation is so important? Why? Firstly, in order to get this meditation and practice, you need to always listen to the correct teachings, okay? I know it's a little difficult, and you need to cultivate. And sometimes you need to teach to others. At least you try to speak to others. Don't just keep it to yourself. This is, when you keep it to yourself, you don't have a generosity. You need to give it to others. Share to the others. And it challenges you, but you need to, this is why it's good for you to challenge you. Then you start to think, oh, maybe this I don't know well. Oh, actually, which I missed. So you will be better and better and better. Just don't be, don't tell the people you know everything. You don't know everything, but you just kind of like, trying to give some, and that will help in you. In other words, so if you could able to do that, it will help you to strengthen your will. Like before we say, when you live in dishonest, right, crooked mind, is because when you are really sincerely giving the teachings, the correct way, the correct teachings, as I say, and your mind, you strict your will. Because if you did wrong, the teaching told us the same thing. If I did wrong, I have to admit I did wrong, so and so forth. Now, what it will eliminate what? The important part is here. It will help you to eliminate your ignorance and your view, your vision or your view, ditthi. In Chinese, usually just translate 邪见。其实这个字不讲邪见的 view， 我们一般只是讲见，只不过中文为了让你知道这个见不是一般的见，是指邪见。Now maybe you have a doubt. What does it mean? We have view. Now, I usually believe that if a person don't do meditation in general, I don't mean 100%. And when I say meditation, I mean they really understand what the purpose of meditation. It's not like, oh, I want to show I'm a good meditator. I just sit there. I can sit 10 hours. We have this kind of student, especially if they have a wrong idea. They just want to show I can sit there. But when they sit there, their mind was thinking so many things, Did they look at me? Did I sit nicely? And, Anyway, I'm not going to say those kind of story now. It's become old story. I have no interest to say that anymore. But I just want to say, the drishti or the ditthi mean the wrong view. Because you do find if people do not do meditation, they might be able to find they could be a good person, but there's no way for them to accept they can be somehow, we have a lot of foolish problem. We have a lot of understanding might be wrong. And sometimes we stinginess, we're holding on certain ideas, it could be wrong. In Buddhism, this is a very deep teaching in a lot of Buddhist texts, which a lot of people, when they read that, they find very difficult to understand, is to say, you have to be able to, I just give some simple simile, but I will go to talk more later, because when we talk about when we are addressing the meditation of Vipassana, the insight meditation, then we will talk that too. So it's almost like, when this is a very Chinese explanation, like, if you look at an onion, you always thought this is an onion. When you peel off the onion, right? And then you told me that the onion is this. But when you peel off the onion, at the end, I for a long time I didn't peel the onion, so I don't know I'm right or not. But I think it's at the end, the onion is empty, right? It's kind of empty, right? So especially the Chinese Buddhism love that idea, like the emptiness. Those doesn't mean empty, mean emptiness, but it means your concept of these things should be this, but actually when you look at inside, deep down, when you dig in, and you'll find it's nothing there. But when the people hold on, the onion, or in other words, people just have one idea, onion mean like that. But some other people could mean onion is the hole in the middle. Okay? Can he? Is it wrong? Yeah. So, but then the problem is also, if the person say the onion mean the hole in the middle is called onion, is that correct? It's not necessary, right? Is it wrong? Completely wrong? No, it's not necessary. This is why meditation is a kind, as I say, the condition is that you have focused mind and that you're able to investigate as the way the truth it is. Then you have the really true picture, but not by claiming this is the only view. Okay? Yeah, you will know that one day. Now, what I like to stress one point, the meditation, why is important? Not because I'm teaching meditation, not because I love meditation, not because I think it's important, or not because I think the Buddha did that also. I do find that when the people not emphasis on that, they can be very stubborn. They can be very difficult to talk. But you cannot say the person is not good. But their view is always strong-headed, right? And these people, there's no way to accept. They could also make mistake. But even if they're a little better, they would do what, like we say, they will have a virtue. At least, actually all people in the world claim they have virtue. Even the worst businessmen, they will say, I have virtue. Right? In other words, you could say they have their judgment, they have their reason, or whatever. But only when people are practicing meditation, then they will start to understand the view itself is conditioned in a certain way. But doesn't mean that it's completely wrong also. This is why I want to say this is what we call meditation. And this is how you have the panya, the wisdom, and you are able to eradicate or eliminate the ignorance. Okay. When you have a good chance to know this, I certainly think don't miss your chance. Because ultimately, it is only the wisdom will save you, maybe in English we call eternally. Okay. All right, I think this is the last protest. So we take a break, 10 minutes, and we come back here. If it's still noisy, we can go outdoor. Okay, right? Take 10 minutes break first. Yeah.